everyone, it is Andrea, and today I'm coming at you with a plan with me in my Aura Estelle Blossom A5 wide planner for the weeks of December 13th through the 19th. This is the week prior to Christmas in my planner, and I had planned on using, I kind of thought Lila was going to come this week, so I was going to do the baby kit this week, and I was going to do Merry and Bright for Nick and Kirsten's birthday week, but Lila came last week, so I used the Lullaby kit, and then this week I wasn't feeling very merry and bright, so I decided to use this Gingerbread kit, which I had planned on using in January, and I'm so happy that I used this one because I think the spread turned out beautiful, and I feel like there is a part of me that thinks that if I didn't use it now, I probably would have switched it out when I got to January because I would have been like, Christmas is over, I'm ready to move on. So I'm really excited I'm using this one, and I'm saving Merry and Bright as a contender for next year, though I think next year Lila and Kirsten's birthday are on the same week. So I'll be using Lila's birthday kit, which I'm already so excited about. And then maybe for Nick's birthday, I'll use Merry and Bright, depending on what art comes out. So any which way, this week was incredibly difficult for me. Like last week, I did a bunch of questions in the beginning. This week, I am going to explain what I'm doing. And then I will go into kind of a little story so that when I get to that part in the plan with me, I don't have to explain it and then everything's all messed up. So basically for this week, I am using gold foil. I have some of my snowflake items mixed with that bottom washi strip that has lights on it is from Sadie's Stickers, I think last year. And then I mixed the boxes and I almost did it right. Almost. But underneath a flap, I think it's wrong or something like that. But I did mixed boxes, underlays from Plannahannah. I did the flannel ones and then the string light ones. And I think it turned out so cute. I kind of wish that sometimes I could just leave the spread like that and not fill in the plans. Because I'm I love the designs on them and want to show them. But whenever I use Plannahannah underlays, since they are a pattern and not just little teeny tiny dots, I like to kind of use stuff that has more space, like those square boxes or flags, so I can really see the design. But yeah, I think I got it almost right except for the box under Monday's flap, but it's okay because it's under a flap. So everything else I figured out, and I figured it out by watching Hannah's videos because I don't know anything else otherwise. So this week was hard because we had a hospital stay, which was just stressful and a lot. So basically what happened is we went to Lila's first doctor's appointment on Monday, which I'll talk about whenever we get to the actual plans. And they were her jaundice levels are okay-ish, but we'll keep an eye on them and see what happens and make sure that she gets less yellow. And I was okay, cool, that's fine. And then on Thursday, I think we're supposed to have a doctor's appointment maybe on Friday, or no, my next doctor's appointment wasn't until the next Monday when she was a week old. So which looking back, I feel like they probably should have had me come in on Wednesday, but it's besides the point. So on Thursday, Thursday night, I saw that it looked like she had blood in her poop and it was kind of watery, which was concerning to me. And it was twice. But it was not a lot and a little. So I was all right, I'm going to call the doctor. And the doctor said, just go to the ER right away because we'll just send you there. So we went to the ER that's closest to us, which was probably our first mistake. I should have just went to the children's hospital to begin with. But we went to the ER because we figured, it's going to be a quick thing, not a huge deal, whatever. The ER took forever. We were there for before even getting seen, we were there for about 3-4 hours. And then we were there for another 3 hours, waiting to be transferred. We didn't know we were going to be transferred. I literally just thought she just had blood in her poop and diarrhea, and we were going to probably get fluids or something. So anyways, we get there, and till we get checked in and everything, it was stroke day. Everyone's having a stroke. So every time we were about to get checked in, they would push us back for somebody who was having a stroke. So it was just it was a really long day. So whenever we were there, they were oh yeah, they want us to do a x-ray or something for the blood, whatever. And they did that. And I was while I'm here, can you guys check her Billy? So her levels for the jaundice. And they were oh yeah, we could do that. We could have lab come in and get that. So they had lab come in and they got her Billy levels. And I didn't like, it was just like a back of the mind thing. Like, oh, while we're here, let's just check them. So they come back and they're like, yeah, they're 17.5, which is high for being like as young as she is. We need to transfer you to Dell. And I was like, oh God. So basically, the part of this that was the worst for me personally was that they made us do a transfer by ambulance and they wouldn't let me go in the ambulance because of COVID. So basically, I had to watch my newborn that was like 4 days old get put in this like box. It was the saddest thing in the whole entire world. I cried for like 3 hours, hyperventilated by myself in the hospital because basically we took my kids, Bennett and Theo, to my in-laws, and it was like later, and they said that we would be staying overnight, so we had to go transfer the kids from my in-laws to our house because we figured it wouldn't take that long because my in-laws didn't have car seats, so that they could like put them to bed at our house because we also didn't know how long we were going to be staying there. It was a whole thing. So when Nick left, they told me that they were going to transfer per ambulance, so I was just a mess. They put her in this little teeny tiny box thing. It's like a box where they like hook her up and they can like put the blue lights on her right away. And they had her like they had IV going and they took blood and all kinds of stuff. And it was just so sad to like watch a 4-day-old just cry in this little teeny tiny box and then be told that they were taking her in an ambulance, like, and it was going to be like 2 hours till I saw her next. And I lost it. I lost it more than I ever lost it about anything in my whole entire life. I don't want to do it ever again. I just don't want to. It was the worst thing ever. So basically, they took her, but I will say, at the ER that we went to, the staff was like fine, but the transfer, I think they said there was like team of 3. The one looked like Tom Holland, I'm just gonna say, but the transfer team of 3 were so nice. Like, I felt like way more comfortable once I met them versus whenever the doctor told me like, oh, you're not gonna be able to go with her, which was like my whole heart just shattered. But the like woman was like, gave me her phone number and she's like texting me and she's like, she's doing good. It was horrible. It was horrible, guys. But yeah, they were so nice. And then we got transferred to Dell Children's Hospital, which is literally the best. And this is the first or the second time. Well, this is the first, and then the second time we go is next week. So we'll talk about that then. But the doctors there are like incredible. Like if I could go there personally, like if I could just like pretend to be a child and go there, I would. Like if I ever got sick, it's just top notch, greatest stuff. But basically what we had to do was have her sit under these like blue UV lights, which wasn't like the whole thing. The worst part was the ambulance, like, and having to be transferred and not being with her and not knowing like what she's doing at like 4 days old. And then also I guess like kind of the unknown, like, is she going to get better? And then they like kind of tell you like what they'd have to do if she doesn't. And then that's like a whole nother thing. So thankfully, I'm going to tell you that the end of the story is she ended up leaving the next morning, which was like better than I thought it would be. And she's been fine ever since, besides the other hospital visit. But the other hospital visit was something completely different. And just like, it's just so much. But so basically they put her under the blue lights. I was only allowed to take her out. And she was just so annoyed because they had an IV on her hand. And like I kept requesting, can you guys take it out? Can you guys take it out? And like if you have to put it back in, you have to put it back in. But she kept like hitting it on the side of the, because you couldn't wear clothes because obviously they want like the light to like hit them. She kept hitting it on the side of the like plastic crib thing, and it would make her so angry. She was already so angry that she wasn't able to be like swaddled or anything like that or do anything. So basically it was a long night of me and Nick like switching off, like just putting the binky in her mouth, which she doesn't really take it. That was like the only thing that we could do to soothe her because we couldn't pick her up, we couldn't wrap her up, and we just had to like let her sit and just bake under these lights. And it was just crazy because I have this picture I sent to Kirsten, and it's wild that like they put these little like goggles on their face. They put these like stickers on their forehead that have Velcro, and then they put this goggle on their face that like sticks to the Velcro. And then whenever we fed her, we would like take the like Velcro off of her eyeballs, and you could see like the color difference of where her eyes like weren't getting the light versus her skin, which was just wild. But basically they checked her, I think every 6 hours for her Billy levels to see like if they went lower, and they checked them at 6. Well, they checked them at midnight and at 6, and then at 6 they said that they could take her off the Billy lights and that they wanted to see if it would go up from 6 to 12, and it didn't go up. It stayed the same, so they let us go home, and they just wanted us to get checked the next day. I think it was the next day, right? No, I think we got checked on Monday and everything was good. I'm not going to like leave it hanging on that. But yeah, it was just like a really triggering experience, but I'm glad that like it's just wild because I didn't go in for that. The blood and the poop ended up, it wasn't blood. It was actually, I guess, when the Billy leaves in the stool and sometimes even in the urine, it looks like this like orangey like stringy, and I thought it was blood because it was leaving out of the butt with poop, so it was like more liquidy. So it was just weird because I didn't go into the hospital for like to get her Billy checked. I went in for a different reason, but then we ended up like she needed to be in the hospital because like I couldn't tell, like when you stare at your kid all day you can't tell if they're getting less yellow or not. So it was a lot. I was a mess, but I'm glad that it's like better. So let's just get into the regular plans here. Okay, so basically I just went and retimed that to be the same length as the story, which I think works out for weeks. I do have stories, so I might start doing that. So this week I did pull out 3, I believe, different colors. Did I pull out 3? I don't know. Y'all just saw it was like blue, green, and red of the colors of the week. I love the colors of the week because I feel like they match a lot, and I'm gonna start moving into kind of like pastels, so they match a lot of like spring summer kits. But they weren't, I don't think I pulled any colors like from this kit, but I feel like they match really well. And especially because I'm putting them like on top of a label, and usually like a different color label. I'm not putting a green on top of a green and you can see the difference. I'm trying to put like a green on top of a blue, and then I feel like it's like spaced out enough that you don't see if it's slightly different, if that makes any sense. But I've been loving it. And I also have something coming next week to kind of build on like doodles and colorways. So you guys will see that next week. But on Monday, I put in that I slept okay. This was my first day home, and I cuddled Lila a bunch. It's kind of going to be the overall theme. Especially, like, I just feel like I'm like, I don't ever want to put her down. I'm like, she's too fragile and precious. I feel like I had an easy mode as far as, like, sicknesses. Like, Bennett was sick a lot, like, whenever he was in school. He was sick all the time, but like he was also older, so it was still sad, but it wasn't as sad as like a 4-day-old like having to go to the hospital. And Theo has like basically never been sick, like never ever ever, because like he's first level pandemic baby. He hasn't been anywhere. Bennett didn't go anywhere to bring him home anything. Like he's never been sick. He had a fever one day for like 3 hours, and then it like went away mysteriously. It was the most random thing, and I was like, oh goodness, here we go. Here's something that we're gonna have to deal with. And I just gave him like Tylenol once, and then it never came back. And I was like, okay, well that was random, but like great. Anyways, this day we did do Nick's birthday cake because Nick's birthday was yesterday, but coming home there was like so many things to do, and like we came home kind of like later in the day. So we did his birthday cake because while we were gone, the in-laws and Bennett made Nick a birthday cake, which was super cute. It was like a funfetti cake, and then Nick opened his birthday present. So basically I didn't buy anything for Nick for his birthday, but I let him open up one of his Christmas presents. It's so hard whenever all these like peeps with these December birthdays be like throwing like curveballs at me that like I have to find 2 things for them. And it usually is like a kind of a struggle because I don't want it to be like you get chipped out for your birthday, but at the same time, like I just don't know sometimes. Kirsten was easy this year. I guess Kirsten's usually pretty easy. It's just Nick who I'm like, I don't know. But Nick for the past years went into June oven, and I think that June ovens are so dumb as far as like, it's just basically an oven. It's like, maybe if you had like only one oven, we have 2 ovens. So like, I don't really know like what we needed a June oven for, but Nick has been bothering me for 3 years. For 2 or 3? No, it's 3 because it definitely has been like longer than the pandemic that he's wanted one. And I'm always like, it's so bulky. There's no point to it. You have a toaster, you have an air fryer, we have an oven. And he every few months he mentions it. And I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to buy this dumb June oven. It's literally like an easy bake oven. And he'll be like, baby, I could do this in it. And I'm like, I could do that on the stove. I could do that in the air fryer. I could do that in one of our 2 ovens. But this boy was so happy. And sometimes you just got to do things for the ones that you love, even though it's absolutely pointless. So I don't recommend June ovens. I don't know. Maybe if you only had one oven and you needed an oven on the side and you didn't have an air fryer and you didn't have a toaster, or like a toaster oven, I'd still keep a toaster, but then maybe go for it. But honestly, it's just really expensive and stupid. So my opinion. Then I hung out with Lila and we got Fortune Garden for dinner, which is like my favorite Chinese place. So yummy. Actually, the dish I get is Vietnamese, and it's like this like chicken, jalapeno, like onion kind of concoction, and it is so delicious. And their noodles there are bomb, like the best noodles I've ever had in my entire life. So chewy and delicious. Then I was sad but feeling better. I was stressed. That's what's in the plans. Basically, I was just in my feelings this night, and I talked about this before that I feel like with Bennett and Theo, didn't feel like super baby-y whenever I had Theo, but whenever, like, it's 2 under 2 now, and I feel like Theo's still a baby, and I feel like when I came home, he, like I said before in the last video, he felt so big, and I knew that, like, that was the worst thing for me, and the thing that I was, like, so sad about, like, this whole pregnancy is, like, Theo not feeling like a baby anymore, and I came home, and he felt so big when I picked him up, he feels so big when I changed his diaper, he feels so big, like, he just feels so big, and he's not ever going to feel small anymore, and that just makes me so sad. So I was in my feelings about that, because I was just like, he feels so big, like, and he is a big boy, he's going to be 2 in April, and he, like, acts, like, sometimes I'm like, is he 3? I don't know, but, yeah, that was I was in my feelings about, and I knew I was going to be in my feelings, like the whole pregnancy, I knew it was going to happen, because it happened with Bennett, even still, like, I felt like, I came home and I was like, he is huge, but, like, Theo, it was sad, because he's still a baby in my eyes. He's always been my baby. I think I'm going to use that quote box from the, like, kids, babies quotes, like, you always be my baby on his birthday spread, because I think that'd be so cute. Then on Tuesday, I went to work because I needed to. I needed to print orders to get them shipped, and I was, like, stressing out about it because I don't like leaving Lila. I never liked leaving my kids, like, at all, especially with Bennett. It was really hard. I tried, like, going on trips, like, whenever he was, like, kind of younger, and I kept canceling them, like, last minute because, like, I can't leave him. And even work used to be even closer with both of the boys. Now it's, like, pretty far away, so I was kind of stressing about having to go, but, you know, my husband's obviously very capable. We have 2 other kids, but it just stresses me out because I just want to be close to my kids at all times. Even sometimes with just leaving the kids in general, I'm just like, I don't want to do it. So I went to work, I missed Lila, I came home, I hung out with Lila. That was, like, my day. And then my boobs really hurt this day. TMI, I don't know. As I always say, you're here, so you signed up for it. So my boobs really hurt this day, and I remember with Theo, I was, like, Googling, I'm like, how long do they hurt? This is so bad. I was, like, this time I was crying, and I was, like, looking up different things you can do. I was, like, I took a hot shower, I was in pain, and then I ended up putting cabbage on my boobs, because that's apparently, like, a thing you could do, and I actually feel like it worked. I don't know if it was, like, a placebo effect or something like that, but, like, if you come down to this after you have a baby and your boobs hurt, try the cabbage. I put them in the refrigerator or the freezer, depending on my mood, and just switched them out every, like, 30 minutes. I will say it smells disgusting. It smells like when my mother-in-law cooks cabbage, but I do really think that it worked. Like, I do. Unless it's, like, super coincidental, then it, like, stopped, like, right after, or, like, went down, you know. Then on Wednesday, I had Starbucks and McDonald's for breakfast, called a Lila, and then this is the day I decided that I'm doing an advent calendar in 2022. I didn't think I'd do an advent calendar again, just because they are so, like, much work and preparation, and, well, usually there's just so much that goes into an advent, and then assembly, and it's just, like, a lot. And honestly, when it comes to anything that's a mystery, it usually ends up being very stressful for me, because I try really hard to make sure that everyone loves, like, what they're getting. I feel like even with doing the mystery subscription for, like, 5, 6, 7 years now, I still get stressed out and hope that, like, as many people, like, as possible can like it. Obviously, I know that I can't please everyone, because that's impossible, and I feel like even with the mystery bundle, like, I feel like I did a really good job of hitting, like, a lot of different people, and then I, like, thought about it afterwards, and I was like, but that's, like, the trouble with it, is with hitting a bunch of different people, where, like, some people really loved one kit, and then didn't like another kit, and then the other people really liked that kit that no one liked, and then they didn't end up liking the one that everyone liked, is that whenever you're trying to cover the bases of so many people, you're going to, like, there's going to be people that don't like things, and especially, like, if you're trying to do, like, a bunch of different things that are completely different, they're not going to be everyone's taste. It doesn't make sense. So I feel like I just try my best, and then, I don't know, sometimes I get discouraged, but this year, and I've heard a lot of people say this, is that I'm just not listening a lot. Like, I'm not listening to people that I know that won't like things, like, no matter what, and I'm just trying to, like, you know, because it gets me really down. Like, even if it's just like talking like shit about the artist or like how they draw, it gets me down. Like, and I'm like, can't even imagine what the artists feel like hearing it. I like literally feel so sad and discouraged. And I feel like last year I listened to so much that I should have known wouldn't have been like anything that did it any good for me. It's not even like helping me like as far as constructive criticism goes, because I thrive off of that, like constructive criticism, but it wasn't even helping me with that. It was just getting me sad and like making me not want to play and making me like not excited to work, because I'm like, there's gonna be people that hate this, and I worked hard on it, the artist worked hard on it. And anyways, I decided I was doing an advent, and there's really no like, if like, it's just really cut and dry, super easy. And I feel like if you buy it, you're gonna like it, because you're gonna know basically exactly what it is for the most part. And the price point, I always try to make everything that's a mystery an amazing price point. So even if you don't like something in it, you can sell it and it'll still like, it'll be a great value. Or even if you don't like a part of it and you kind of like think of it, oh, like let's say for the Ultimate Mystery Bundle, you didn't like the one of the kits, it's still a great value. Two of the kits, it's still a great value. Or if you didn't want the print impression, like, what is it called? The Planner Keeper, it's still a great value for 4 kits. So I still try to make everything a great value. So I feel like I'm making the price point of this advent this year incredible. Like, I don't even know if I've ever seen an advent this like affordable. And then it's also going to be a shop preview advent. So basically everything that's going to be in the advent is going to be a shop preview, and it's all going to be one type of item. So you're going to know basically exactly what you're getting. It's going to be something that's going to be coming to the shop, so you know that like you're getting it early as a preview, you're getting it at an affordable price, and it's like not an expensive advent at all. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope y'all like it. Like, so I started working on it this day, and I have it all already ordered, and I will have it up probably in like August, just so that everyone can like have time to order it, and then I can ship it and everyone will have it like super early. I might even do a like non-envelope version. Like, I might just do like all in a cello. So like, I know a lot of people don't like open it like day by day. So I think that I could, you know, cut a couple dollars off if we like just have it all sent in like a cello, if you were just going to open it all, because then there's also less waste with the envelope. So I might do that as well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyways, on Wednesday, I also had Jersey Mike's, which I have been loving Jersey Mike's. I normally don't like fast food subs, but I feel like Jersey Mike's is really good. And then I put in that Lila was super sleepy this night. On Thursday, I took the boys to the in-laws, because this is the day that we had to go to the ER. And like I said, it was very, very stressful, and it took forever. And then we got transferred to Dell's Children's Hospital, which is phenomenal. And I just feel like everyone there is just so nice and happy, and like just communicates in a way that like I don't know. I feel like at like regular hospitals, like especially when you're dealing with like adults, like no one's like trying to be like, you know, easy on you, or like, you know, I feel like with kids, like you gotta be. So it was really fun, and I think they were all excited to see like a baby. Like, they all kept coming in, and like there was this one nurse. She had like minion scrubs. She was so cute, and she would come and be like, I saw a nurse down the hall walking her, because I don't remember what they did. They had to go do a blood draw. I saw her walking her, and I was like, does she have my baby? And I was just like, they're so cute, because they just like love. You can just tell they love their job. So we had a really good experience there. We had a different doctor like every time, like every 6 hours. All amazing. All the nurses, amazing. Everybody, amazing. Front desk people, amazing. All of them, amazing. But definitely the transfer there was the hardest part for me, and I didn't want to do it ever again. But I got to use an ambulance sticker, so I was a mess. I literally was like, so they took her, and then Nick came and picked me up, and I was just like standing in the hospital entrance, hyperventilating, looking like a loon. Literally, like, I ran out of tissue, so I'm using my face mask as like a snot rag. It's a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And then we got home slice for dinner, because we were like downtown, and I was like, all right, let's pick up something decent for dinner tonight. So we got home slice, got a pizza, and then we had a long night, because basically we just took shifts, which we haven't done like a shift situation since Bennett was a baby. Bennett like would not sleep unless somebody held him. So Nick and I feel like we didn't sleep at the same time for like months. months and months and months. So we did that. Like basically we would just like watch like YouTube or something and just like keep an eye on her because she wouldn't sleep very long in that thing. She was not happy about it. And then when they finally let us take her out of the lights for like this at like 6 a.m. when they, or was it 12? 6 a.m. when they were like, oh, you know, it's down. Let's see if it stays down. She slept for so long. She like conked because girl was so tired. And also I feel like her schedule was off because they didn't want her to eat basically from when we were like not admitted, but we were like finally checked in at the ER till we got transferred. I said it was like 3 hours. And then the 1 hour and change hospital ride till we got there, they wouldn't let her eat. So I feel like she was super hungry and trying to like, you know, gain the ounces back. And then she was just so tired because like, how could you not be, you know? But yeah, it was a long, long day, a long, long mess. And I was just like clocked out. I was just like, I didn't answer text messages. I just literally was just a mess. I did feel better once we got there and like, you know, like explained everything, but yeah, so there's that. And whenever they said that we could take her off the lights, that was a great feeling. On Friday, I put in that we got some sleep in the morning and that Lila was finally doing better. I didn't know like how long we were going to be in there because I read online sometimes it takes like 3-4 days. So I was really, 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 really happy that it was like a day thing because it was just a lot, like especially for her to like sleep like terribly and be like so upset the whole time. And like she wasn't even eating that well because I think she was just so like out of whack. And then we got to go home this day, which I was so excited about. I literally like, I thought I dreamed it because the doctors kept like coming in like when we were sleeping and like they would explain stuff to us. And I'm like, am I dreaming? I don't know. They were so nice though. And then we hung out with the boys and we got Rudy's for dinner. That's what Nick's parents wanted. Since they, you know, watched them, I was like, the least we could do is ask what they want for dinner. Nick's parents are like literally a godsend sometimes. Like obviously they're my in-laws, so they annoy the crap out of me like, you know, 90% of the time. And like I'm sure I annoy the crap out of them too. But that's also like I feel like me and Nick's parents is kind of very much so like a child and parent. It's not like in-laws because I lived with Nick's parents from whenever I was a little, well, I was almost 19 till I was like 24. So about 5 years I lived with Nick's parents. And I mean, realistically, I'm 30. So Nick's parents have known me over half my life. So I feel like it's a very like child and, oops, that's Theo. It's a very like child and parent situation. So I feel like we have like a little bit of a different, like we like rag on each other a lot. So if you ever hear me talking about my in-laws, that's why. And you're like, Andrea's really harsh. No, that's just that's our dynamic and we love it. Especially me and Nick's mom and like me and Nick's dad, we talk about our poop schedules. Like it's a thing. I bought him a squatty potty for his birthday, which was so funny. And Nick's mom always says that me and Nick's dad are like way alike. But yeah, so let me take a drink. So we got Rudy's, that's what they wanted. Well, I think it's what Nick's dad wanted. Nick's mom always wants Chinese food, but she's too nice and just goes with what the man wants. And because he's usually the one that's the most moody. Then we put in that, well, I put in that Lila cuddles because, you know, I ain't gonna let her go. And then we watched Single Life. And then on Saturday, I put in that Lila was 1 week old, which is just crazy. It's crazy because she's over a month old now and she looks so big. We just got back her newborn pictures, which I'm obsessed with. I'm so sad because we didn't get to do newborn pictures with Theo because it was so early in the pandemic. You didn't really know like what was safe, like what precautions you could take. Like, is it okay? Is it not? I don't know. But it's the same person who does our Christmas pictures and she did a really great job and I love them. They're very like different than Bennett's, as Bennett's were very like the studio where they're sleeping and it looks, is it Ann Getty's? Is that the right name? Where they're like the little babies like dressed up as like watermelons and stuff. Very that style. And then for Theo, I just did them. I don't think they're bad, but they're not great. And then for Lila's, I wanted to do like lifestyle where like she's awake and it's like in the home and like more natural. And I think they turned out beautiful. Like honestly, like even like the ones with the boys are just so cute. And I did post one on Instagram. I don't post pictures of my kids, but whenever they're a baby, like I don't mind sharing like one photo I did of Bennett. It was Jessica holding Bennett. And then I don't know if I ever shared a baby picture of Theo, but they don't ever look like that anymore. So it's fine for me at least. And I put one on Instagram and everyone was commenting how Theo looks like me. It's Theo sitting on my lap, and then Bennett looks like Nick, and that's literally like, those are our twins. So really excited to see kind of who she looks like. Personally, right now, if you look at her, she looks exactly like how Theo looked whenever he was a baby. Like, if you saw a picture of Theo and Bennett, like, at, like, together, you'd be like, oh, wait, is that Lila? Whenever Theo was only, like, a month old. Because they do look exactly the same, in my opinion. But they both have, I think all three of them have Nick's mouth, because Nick has a very, like, pronounced Cupid's bow. But I think they all have my cheeks, for sure. But yeah, if you want to check out that picture, you can let me know. Do you think from that angle that Theo looks like me and Nick looks like, well, Bennett looks like Nick? I think, I mean, like, we're twins. Then, what did I do? Hung out with the boys downstairs. I cleaned the bedroom up, and then for dinner we got hibachi, and then I just cuddled Lila, and we had like a really long night because she was just like kind of still getting back into the groove of things. Then on Sunday I cuddled some more. I went to work. When I go to work, I work basically like all the time that she's not awake. As far as like daytime, I get like all my computer work done. And then I take care of her the rest of the time. And then I go to work one day a week to print orders, to set up the order station for Kirsten, and to kind of like tidy up anything that needs tidied up. I haven't done the tidying part in a while. I need to do it. I was just telling Kirsten, I'm like, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. I need to like get time to go in. She was like, oh, I can do this, this, and this, and this. And yeah, it just needs to get done. We'll get there eventually. But also, like, for me, those things are like not necessary. They're just things that bother me and like I know need to get done eventually. And are only a bother to me mostly. So we'll deal with them in a different time. But I went to work this day to print out orders. I've been basically doing the same schedule though, as far as like I work at home and then I go into work one day a week. I've been doing that basically since like the beginning of the pandemic, because I used to go in and do like grab bags and stuff like that. But now Kirsten does it all. Kirsten's literally like a superhero at work. Like, she does so much stuff, and like sometimes I'm like, I don't know how she did it so fast. And she does orders so fast, and like she doesn't really mess up that often. But thank goodness for Kirsten. Kirsten, we all at SBC appreciate you, and you're a superhero. And also for the boys too, because though they are the boys, they still do a great job. So yeah, I'm thankful to have a great team that I can trust to do what they need to do, and me only need to come in one day a week, which is literally the dream. And then to be able to work at home and work on my own schedule around my newborn schedule. I feel like a lot of people also ask that in my questions video, is kind of like how I do it all. And I did work ahead a lot so that there wasn't as much piled up that needed to be done. And then also I have a great team that I can rely on. And I also know like what needs to be done, and I do it whenever she's sleeping. And then I service her when she's awake, and then I just continue on when she sleeps. And, you know, I cook and do things around that as well. So, and I have Nick. I mean, like, come on. Nick is a stay-at-home dad, and he mostly just does the boys, and he like does dishes and does all that stuff. So I feel like we are just like in a good schedule with a good team at work and at home. So that's how I do it. Then I got McDonald's on the way home. It was a nightmare. I don't know what was going on, but there was like this truck that, like, you know, like a two-door, like full 4-door truck. And there was these kids that were like maybe like 5 or 6 hanging out the window, so no seatbelts on, ordering the McDonald's. And I don't know what was going on because it took them like 15 minutes to order. I'm like, why are they ordering? I don't know. But then I rolled up, and I think the problem is that the person on the like speaker at McDonald's was like, their volume was like super low. But I was just like, please kids, put your seatbelts on, because you don't even know, like somebody could like pull up behind you and like, or side swipe you and like hit your car and you fly out the window. I was just stressed out. Then I put in that I helped make pizza. The boys wanted to make pizza in Nick's June oven. He's like, this is so cool. I'm like, you could do it in the regular oven, babe. Then I cuddled Nick in bed, and I was very anxious about going to the doctor the next day. because they were going to check her belly, and I was like nervous. Like, what if it went back up? I don't want to go back to the hospital. Like, it's going to be triggering. I hope they at least let me drive her there. Whole thing. And then I put in that we watched 90 Days Before the 90 Day. And then that is everything for this spread. It's a little bit of a long one as far as talking goes, but I hope that y'all still liked this video, and I'm sorry it's up a little bit late as well. I feel like I go to bed on Tuesday and I'm like, I forgot to put up a video, but I'm actually really, really working hard on getting my office finished so that I could do an office tour for y'all. And I just kind of had a revelation yesterday and moved the couch out of there, and I'm really excited for what I'm doing. So yeah, that's everything. I hope that y'all like this week's video, and I will talk to y'all in my next one. Bye.